Hello, YouTube and the tribes of the horror realm. It's been a really long time since we've done a video, um, but we're going to try to get back into the swing of things now that Google has relented and split apart Google Plus and YouTube. It's not broke, don't fix it. Anyways, this is a convention recap that we just came back from. Um, you have to pardon Teresa if she doesn't speak too much, or if you can't, a little harder to understand what happened earlier today.
I got my wisdom teeth removed.
Oh yeah, three of them. So it was probably about 8 hours ago, and here she is. Took the gauze out of her mouth to do the video.
No, I have it in my mouth.
Okay, she's doing her Brando. Anyways, Monstermania 31, which was held in Cherry Hill, New Jersey from July 31st until August 2nd. This was highlighted by having people such as Nev Campbell and Skeet Ulrich and Roger Jackson from Scream, Godzilla suit actors, um, rock bands, and Sid Haig. How's that for a lineup?
An Ultraman.
And Ultraman, yeah. So, anyways, the first one we went to see at the convention was Haru Nakajima, who is the original suit actor for Godzilla. He pretty much did Godzilla from the very first appearance until about 1976. Terror Mecha's Godzilla was his final one, and he had retired. And then during that span, he was in about 26 kaiju films. We were actually fortunate, to have met Nakajima-san back in October with a couple of the other Godzilla suit actors. But in this case, we actually had to add him to this King Kong Escapes poster. We had met Linda Miller, one of the stars of the film, back in April, so we decided to get Nakajima on here as well, as he had portrayed King Kong in this film. So that's two of the actors on here. It would be nice if they could get the Gorosaurus and Mecha Kong suit actor, but no one seems to know what has happened to him. That was Yu Sakata. Also at the convention was a man by the name of Bin Furaya. Bin was a Toho house actor who ended up playing one of the most iconic superheroes in Japan, which is Ultraman, or here they call him Ultraman. I grew up on Ultraman. I was exposed to him because obviously my mother's from Japan. I had seen the TV show. I mean, it's readily available now on DVD. But when I was a little boy, my grandmother had sent over this book, which is basically a Ultraman like monster encyclopedia of the different creatures and the whole TV series itself. And I've had this since I was a little kid. Now I'm an old man, and it's been rebound a couple times because it got beat to hell because I was a destructive little kid or two, apparently. Well, anyways, I was able to meet Faraya-san, and through a translator, told him the story about how much the show meant to me as a kid, and that this was a gift that my grandmother had given me, and um, throughout changes in life, I've always kept this thing with me. And he had signed the front of the book. He and Samotsu Kitagawa, who played the Godzilla in the Millennium series, started flipping through it and gawking over it. And the translator told me this is actually really rare, even for them. This is something they don't really see. So he was thrilled to look through this. And apparently he was touched that the show meant that much to me, and that this book meant that much to me. So he actually gave Teresa and I a little token, which are these, I call them bin pins. But this guy's a gas. He really has embraced the character. During his Q&A, he was wearing this glowing beacon around his neck that was blue, and at the very end of the Q&A, it started to flash red, which, if anyone that's seen Ultraman knows, that signals that his energy is about to run out and he has to transform back to Hayata. And so that was kind of cute that he did. And his famous pose with a specium ray, he had a little LED thing set up on his hand, so every time he had strike the famous pose, that was glowing. So it was really thrilling to actually meet these guys, and I gotta tell you, the Godzilla or the Japanese actors that are brought around to these conventions are so fantastic. The costs for them are super reasonable, and they are so thrilled to meet their fans here. They're very humble.
They make you feel special.
Now, let's see. After that, we went and saw who next. Would you like to talk about? Well, you know what? I will say one other thing while we're at it. Not bringing it up, but we actually also saw from The Walking Dead. They had 3 of them there. They had the kid that played Morgan's son that was in the first episode, Ross Marquardt, who plays Aaron in the current series, and Seth Gilliam, who plays Father Gabriel in the current series. Now, if anyone's on Facebook and has seen the pictures, I took a shot of the tables. One of the actors, of the recurring characters, wants $40 for his autograph, or his agent wants $40 for the autograph, and another $40 if you want to take a picture with him, so $80 combined. The other regular on the show is $30 for the autograph, and if you want to take a picture, $10. So $40 for the combo, or $80 for a combo. Guess which one had nobody in his line? So we actually went and met Seth Gilliam, who was the man, which was the 30/10. Chatted with him for a bit. Really nice guy, very energetic guy. Had him sign our Walking Dead poster, which is just too much trouble to unfurl. But we did add him to the poster, so it's up to 13 now. Also, there was a Halloween reunion, Halloween 4 and technically 5. They had Danielle Harris making a return to the convention circuit, as well as Michael Myers actor George P. Wilbur. George played Michael Myers in Part 4, very briefly in Part 5 before he was replaced by Don Shanks, and then in Part 6 again. So, what did you think of George? You liked George, didn't you?
He was very sweet. He said I looked just as beautiful as Danielle Harris.
I believe him. But he did want you to stand on the chair, didn't you? You
He
couldn't do
thought
that.
I was short.
He didn't think you were short. He observed that you were short.
Yeah.
It's not like he...
like Danielle Harris.
Yeah, you guys are about the same height, right? And what'd you grab from George?
We got a picture from him. And he signed it.
Well, that would be the point.
He was very nice to me. He was one of my favorite at the convention.
Yeah, George is up there in age. He actually started in the business after serving the country in military service as the stunt double for John Wayne, so that gives you an idea of how far back he goes. We also got a chance to meet another horror icon, and it's someone that I had met numerous times. And Teresa said to me that she had never met him, so she just wanted a chance to chat with him.
And that was Sid Haig. And we got him to sign a picture from Spider Baby.
Sid's a great guest to meet. He's incredibly cheap for amount of work that he's done. You bring your own item. It's like $10 to sign. Free photos, 20 if you want something off his table. Great storyteller. He commented on Teresa's shirt. She was wearing a Vincent Price shirt, and he had mentioned how he had met Vincent Price on the set of Fall of House of the Usher, and he went out. We asked him about his work with Lon Chaney Jr. He expanded on that. Really a nice guy, and he didn't disappoint, did he, honey?
Oh no, fantastic.
Let's see. Also at the show, one of the appeals for me for this show was the band White Zombie. I was a huge fan of White Zombie. Unfortunately, in '98 they broke up, but they were able to reunite for this show. The bassist Sean Esault, the guitarist Jay Younger, and the drummer from Astro Creep 2000 album, John Tempesta. So I was really stoked with an opportunity to meet him, even though I had no idea what I was going to end up getting signed, because I'm not a big signed CD guy or anything like that. So I went up and, first off, being a former bass player, I went over to talk to Sean Esault. Sean was Rob Zombie's girlfriend at the time. If you don't know, she's often referred to as the chick in White Zombie. Really down to earth, very cool lady. She's now doing a lot of photography work. She's going to be having a gallery showing in Soho in November. While I was there, I got a copy of her book in the band. The backstage notes from the chick in White Zombie, and it's an incredible book. It's got a ton of photos that they took, stories, all the different bands that they played with, the Ramones, Pantera, all sorts of history of the band itself. And I ended up biting the bullet and bought myself a really super gift, which was I was actually going to thought about buying a White Zombie album to have signed. This one actually came from Sean Esault's collection. She had saved copies, the blue vinyl edition of Astro Creep 2000. So I got one of Sean's copies. She signed it, as well as Jay Younger and John Tempesta. So the only one left is Rob. We'll see. So pretty cool to have this album. They were awesome. If you ever get a chance to meet, I mean, I can't say enough. It was so great to. Yeah, and I got the photo op taken with them as well. So it was really cool to be able to meet them. Well, when we went up there, I brought a little gift for Sean, because she's a huge Scooby-Doo fan. She collects Scooby-Doo, so I happened to notice a new Hallmark ornament came out for that, and they had a Scooby-Doo with the green ghost, so I picked it up and presented it to her, and she was pretty thrilled. She's like, no one's ever really given me a gift like that at these shows. I usually just like, hey, sign this, sign this. So she was pretty happy that she got a nice gift. So she actually said, hey, I want to give you something. And she dug into her purse and came out with this pick. And the story behind it is this. When they toured, they had these picks made up. They had a set where they had a cartoon monster caricature of Sean, and then they had a set made up with a caricature version of Jay. So they had their own picks, and of course, they throw them out to the audience. Well, they had a batch that came in that were misprints, and what happened was, let's see if you can see that there. There's Sean on the back. There's Jay. These were not supposed to be this way. They were all supposed to be single-sided, so if they threw them out, you know who you got the pick from. So they never used them, but Sean kept a bunch of them, and she gave me one of these. She said, you're probably not going to see too many of them because we never used them. So I got this really cool little memento of from White Zombie. So when one of your favorite bands is really that cool and down to earth, and they're like, you get something like that, it's actually pretty cool. We also did what we normally do and watched all the Q&As, which were really, really excellent stories. But when we would not have gone, except we brought a friend of ours who really wanted to see the Malcolm McDowell Q&A. We actually stayed and were blown away. It was such a good Q&A. The guy is so entertaining, great stories, just a riot. And so after that, Teresa said she just wanted a chance to meet him and get the photo op, which is what we did. We didn't get the autograph we gave to our friend who happens to like Malcolm, so he got the autographed item, but we did get a chance to meet him. He was cool, wasn't he?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's worth going by and saying hello. And if you get to see his Q&A, I'll tell you right now, anytime we're at a con and he's there, we're going to his Q&A. It is magnificent. Couple other items we purchased while we were there.
We got... I've never seen the movie Spider Baby, and Chris doesn't have it in his collection. So we bought the Blu-ray.
That's the Arrow release, the Blu-ray DVD combo. What else did you get?
Of course, all of you know how I like Gremlins. So I got a Gremlins mouse pad, so I could go put it at my job.
And of course, one of the things with these conventions is always catching up with friends. And one such person is Joel Robinson from artpusher.net. Joel's a fantastic artist, and he just did. We have been hammering him for a couple years to do the Universal Monsters, but he always has so many commissions he can never do them. Well, lo and behold, what was on his wall? The Wolfman. So I'm on the hook for any more of his Universal Monsters that he puts out. So that's fantastic. Can't wait to get it framed and put up. Again, check out his work, artpusher.net. And also, speaking of friends, we got a chance to see Mark the Bear, or 13 the Bear. I don't think he's on YouTube any longer, but you might see him floating around on Facebook. And Mark, of course, is one of the guys that we convention hop with, and he was there for one day with his daughter. And when we got there, he had told Teresa he had something for her. This is like a regular occurrence. Every convention. Teresa, I have something for you. What did he have for you this time?
He got me the Wizard of Oz VHS.
Clamshell edition of Wizard of Oz, because he knows that she loves the movie and she collects the different medias that it's come out in, tapes.
I'm telling you, every time I see him at a Monstermania, he has something for me.
Yeah, it's something for me too, a hard time. So anyways, that was pretty much our convention. It was actually one of the better ones we've gone to, unexpectedly. The Q&As were really insightful and really interesting. Sometimes you get a clunker here or there. This one, right across the board, they were really good. The convention guests were fantastic. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't really busy, and for me, I became 5 years old again when I met Ultraman, and I got to meet 3/4 of one of my favorite bands, and they were just awesome. So,
And the Godzilla Q&A was great.
so that's it. We're running long, and thank you very much for spending time with us again, and hope to see you soon.